There he is, the man, the myth, and the guy who got me this job so we can blame it all on him, rock star broadcast agent Ken Lindner. Let's give him a warm welcome, guys. See?
It is a pleasure to be on Extra.
I have a funny story that I tell people about you. And, you know, this was, a couple years ago? I wasn't even looking for a new agent. And our mutual friend, Rob, sent my reel to you. And I think you were calling me every day. And I was like, fine, I'll sign with you. Just stop calling me. And it's been magic ever since.
Yes.
It has been magic. I have such
Absolutely.
respect for you and for the path you've taken. And now you're finally sharing your wisdom through this book, Career Choreography. So first of all, Ken, tell me what career choreography is.
Well, career choreography, Jen, is that logical set of steps that anyone can take to put the percentages in their favor that they will attain their professional goals. And I am a career choreographer, and my passion and mission in life is to see what can be in people, understand where they are at the moment, know what their dreams are, and then choreograph the set of steps that will take them to their dreams.
So what inspired you to want to write a book on it?
Well, for the last, I should say, for the last 35 years, I have been helping people find jobs in which they shine, jobs which take advantage of their unique skill sets. And with the pandemic and so many people being laid off, so many people needing second acts, so many grad students, undergrad, and people graduating from grad schools wondering whether they will be able to find a great job or any job in this very difficult market.
Yeah.
I felt this was my chance to contribute and help people secure the right job for them and thrive in it.
I mean, you know as well as I do, this pandemic has decimated industries. It's put so many people out of work. So for anyone who is looking to get back into the career that they love, your advice on the steps they should be taking right now?
Well, the first thing is, Jen, is be optimistic. This is a golden opportunity to reset your professional life and lift the quality of it. First of all, if you're getting back into the job market, that presupposes that you've worked before, so you know what you love and you know what you don't want in your next job. So that knowledge, that wisdom should help guide you to find the right job. So that's the first step. Look at this as a golden opportunity to raise the quality of your professional life. 2, take time to think about what you really want for your professional life. It's really important. What do you love? What are you good at? What don't you want to do? Make a list, which in career choreography, I call a clarifying list. It will clarify what it is you really are looking for. So when you go looking for jobs, you know what to look for. You know what, in all likelihood, you'll do well and be successful at. Maybe the biggest tip is to think about all of the people who you've worked with before, or all of the people who you've worked for in the past. Contact them, stay in touch with them, because they are the people who know how good you are, who know your talents, who know your work ethic, who know the content of your character. So in a very difficult job market, you need to sort of think out of the box. Contact those people, because those are the people who may be able to hire you or recommend you to somebody who can hire you. And if I may tell a very quick story, my dad was laid off at age 66 from his department store chain. And the emotional wind was taken out of his sails because he wondered who at age 66 would ever want to hire him with such a youth-oriented society. But I told my dad, stay in touch with all the people that you've worked with. 2, stay in shape. Continue to read the periodicals that will keep you relevant. Stay in touch with the people who you may wind up working with again. Well, 3 years later, at age 69, my dad did stay in touch with a former buyer trainee of his who had become the chairman of the board of Marshalls. And he was starting a company called TJ Maxx. And he said to my dad, Jack, I want you to train my buyers the way you trained me and hundreds of others.
Yeah.
And my dad wound up working from age 69 to almost age 99.
Wow.
He had a 30-year career. And he owes it all to keeping in touch with someone who he worked with before, who knew him. One last thing, Jen, that I think is really important. That is, if you've been laid off, you have a very important asset. That asset is your experience, your knowledge, your know-how. I mean, if I'm going to get surgery, I want to go to a doctor who's done it before, who knows it, who's not going to make a mistake. If I'm an employer, I really value somebody who's been in the workforce, who's done it before, who has experience, who has a track record. So just know, if you've been laid off, one of your great assets is your experience.
Yeah. Very valuable advice. You know, I also think it's like the importance of staying in touch with people when times are good and when times are bad, because I get this all the time where I haven't heard from people in years. And when they need something, that's when they reach out. And people can see right through that.
Yeah, that's true. You know, it's important to stay in touch in the good times and the bad times. In fact, I like to say thank you and say hello to people when I don't need something.
Yeah.
Because, you know, so many people call when they need something. And by the way, I really believe in the concept of a particle in motion attracts other particles in motion. Stay in motion during the good times and the bad times.
Yeah.
Because the more contacts you make, you never know when that job is going to come. You never know when that promotion is going to come. Be active.
Right. It's an incestuous business, as we all know. This pandemic and the last year especially has been a time for self-reflection for a lot of people. And there's a lot of people who are in the working world right now who are in jobs that they might realize is not the right job for them, but they're afraid to take the plunge and to find a new career. So what advice would you give them?
Well, I also would give them the advice of think about what you really want. You don't want to make a move just because you're unhappy. Mm-hmm. It's like going from one bad girlfriend or boyfriend to another just because you want to be in a relationship. That's not the way to make a strategic professional move. What you want to do is think about what you love to do. And then again, make that clarifying list and then go after it. For example, somebody came to me just a little while ago, Jen, and she said, you know, I'm this corporate attorney. I've been in the rat race for years. I work 60 hours a week. I have no life.
Yeah.
I'm really unhappy. And I said, well, being laid off is the best thing that ever happened to you because it's forcing you to do something you never would have done. That is reassess your career and get a positive reset. So I asked her to give me a clarifying list. I said, what do you want to do? And she said, I love Colorado. It's where I'm from. It's where my family is. My parents are aging. I have siblings there. I've always wanted to be an elementary school teacher, and I love to ski. So I put those all together, and I said, how about this? Come on, find a place in Colorado, apply to the school system, and you know what? On weekends, be that ski instructor that you've always wanted to be, and be close to your parents. You know, if not now, when? Do it. And I can tell you, this person is so happy because she's fulfilling her dreams. She's hitting on all cylinders. Mm-hmm. And you know what? That's what you want. You want to make your heart sing in this world.
Yeah. And sometimes, you know, it takes something like a pandemic, which has been unprecedented, for us to realize and to force ourselves to make those kinds of moves. There's a lot said about what work should mean in your life. I mean, obviously, the goal is to do something you love and something, as you say, makes your heart sing. But not everybody has that luxury, you know? So how can we take the steps to get to a place where we're doing what we love?
Well, I think, Jen, that there are 4 great criteria that someone told me about. Actually, they told me about the first 3. I figured out the 4th. And that is 1, do what you believe in. 2, do what you love. 3, do what will make you look forward to going to work every day.
Mm-hmm.
And 4, do what you're really good at. Because if you put those together, not only will you have happiness and fulfillment, but the chances are if you do what you're good at and you're in a job that takes great advantage of your skill sets, of your experience, of your knowledge, you're going to be hugely successful.
Yeah.
So those are 4 criteria that I think are really great, that when you're looking for your next job, when you want to make a move up, see if you can satisfy all 4 of those criteria.
We talk a lot about the do's, but your book actually gets into some of the don'ts. What would you say are like maybe the top 3 don'ts if you want to see your career flourish and if you want to get your career into the next level?
I think the biggest don't is don't settle for immediate gratification.
Yeah.
If you really want to be great at what you do, you need to be disciplined. You need to work hard. If you hear about all the great athletes, whether it was Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant or Tom Brady, they're the first ones to work every day.
Yeah.
They're oftentimes the last ones to leave. If you want to be great at what you do, you got to work at it. As talented as you are, talent is merely potential. You've got to put it into action, and hard work, hard, smart work is really important. And that means being disciplined.
Yeah.
It's not just going for what you want to do immediately. I don't know, the second thing that I think you don't want to do is go to a job without really, or how about this, a job interview without knowing what the corporate culture is,
True.
knowing where the company is going. Because in the pandemic, there are so many new models, there are so many changes. You need to know what that company that you're interviewing with is looking for, what the expectations are of the employer that you're interviewing with. You need to do your homework. It's really important. I see way too many people go into interviews and not have done their homework. I've seen people lose jobs that they would have died to get because they didn't know enough about the company, enough about the employer. And with the internet, all this information is available to you. So do your homework. The third thing is I would not make a move when I'm down, I'm unhappy,
Right.
I'm barraged with emotions.
Yeah.
Or as I would
So
call
like
them,
that knee-jerk.
potentially toxic.
Yep.
That knee-jerk reaction. Way too many people come to me, seek my advice because they're angry. They feel disrespected. They feel they're not being treated well. But here's the thing. Don't let somebody else's bad behavior, even an employer's bad behavior, make you deviate from the most constructive course that you can take. Because at the end of the day, you've got to take care of yourself and be smart.
Yeah.
And just know that you will be upset at times. You will be hurt at times. You will be disappointed at times. But you need to weather the storm, not push the send button, not say or do anything which can come back to haunt you. Be cognitively clear in your professional decisions.
Right. And you also can't be afraid to maybe take a step backward to get ahead. Because sometimes, you're building a career. Like it's not all going to be upward trajectory. Sometimes you're going to have to take those lower level positions to get the experience that you need to build back up again.
Well, Jen, you bring up a great point, and it's a great question. As values change, our goals change, our paths change. I've had so many clients that once aspired, for example, to be a network correspondent. But then after being a network correspondent and running around the country out of a suitcase for 200 or more days a year, a client may say to me, well, you know what? I'd like to become an anchor. I'd like to become a host. I want stability. I don't want to be running around when I have a family that I'm trying to raise. I need hours that are more set.
Yeah.
So what these people do is maybe leave the network and go to maybe a smaller market and learn how to anchor. So it's a step, one might say, backwards to take many steps forward.
Yeah.
So, I don't really consider it going backwards, but I do consider it maybe making a detour,
Right.
because it's all in how you look at it. And so you make a career choreography detour so that you can grow.
Yeah.
By making that.
And you have to be humble too. You have to be humble in yourself and know where you're going, and be able to swallow that, and that's okay temporarily to get to where I want to be. I also think it's important, by the way, to surround yourself with people who believe in you. And I've always done the same thing with, when it comes to my career. I surround myself with people who see my future and my success just as clearly as I do. And you've always been instrumental there. So thank you for that.
You're welcome, Jen. Well, I cannot believe in you more. So just know that. So, whatever we do, whatever profession or job we have, we're all performers. And unquestionably, we want people around us who believe in us, who see the best in us, who see our potential, and who are supportive. And I think it is really important to work with people who get you, believe in you, and see the best in you. And of course, it is really important that your employers see the best in you, because if they believe that your success is their success, they're going to get behind you. They're going to give you assignments that will enhance you, promote you. So you want all of the people around you to be supportive.
Thank you for watching. If you want more extra, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you'll never miss a video.